A normal LEGO minifigure is 4 bricks high, but in this video I'm going to show you every minifigure size LEGO has ever created. And along the way, I will also create the smallest and biggest LEGO minifigure that has ever existed. Let's go! Okay, so I think we can all agree that LEGO makes a ton of LEGO minifigures. But did you know that LEGO's smallest minifigure is only 4 studs high? That means that you'd have to stack 3 of them on top of each other to get to the height of a normal LEGO minifigure. But even though you can already hold a dozen of these with only 3 fingers, this minifig is already too big in my eyes. So let's see what I can do. And what about a minifigure built entirely out of fimo? I'll start with a block that symbolizes the final size of the minifigure. Now I can already start carving out the legs and separate them from the rest of the block to make the shaping of the thighs and the overall legs easier. I'll also add the feet. They're pretty simple, since I only have to shape 2 identical squares and attach them to the legs. The next big thing is the torso. And since it's proportional to the legs, I'll create the torso directly next to them. Now, let me add a small cylindrical plate to symbolize the neckline. And for the head, I'll basically make another neck. But before I continue with any more molding, I'll put the torso into the oven. Okay, so the figure is pretty sturdy, which means that I can add the arms. But because they are very small, I'll only add the basic angle as a detail, but not the entire hand. Now the minifig is pretty much done, only the paint job remains. And look at this! I literally created a 2-stud high minifigure out of a chunk of fimo. That's insane! I mean, just look at it. Leia and Palpatine could already be its parents. And the best thing, it can also be hidden inside of a normal LEGO brick. Only 1x1 plates can also do that, but those are stuck in there for a lifetime and make one really frustrated. Whereas this minifigure drops straight out of it. It actually makes it feel as if it belongs right in there, almost like a house, and a city would be created in no time. LEGO's smallest minifigure low-key already appears like a giant, and a normal minifigure like a god. But that's only the start. Just imagine what it will look like if we complete our LEGO minifigure journey. But first, LEGO's smallest minifigure with a detachable piece. It's their baby. And it is only a hair's breadth bigger than their wannabe smallest minifigure. But since LEGO is based on a system where you can attach almost anything to almost everything, this is a huge plus. I mean, if you ever want to create some fancy balloons, you can attach baby heads to sticks and you get the perfect looking carnival balloons. Okay, so the next minifig we'll be looking at is only slightly bigger, has the same legs as the baby, but offers a lot less details. In fact, there are not even arms and also no detachable head. But that's kinda justified, because it's the one used in all the board games, and there you don't want any figures to accidentally break because of a rage quit. Okay, so now we're already getting to a territory we know a little better, since we now have turnable hands, arms, legs and a head, where we can attach different headgears to. And because you know these figures so well, I'll speedrun that section for you. We've got a child that's exactly 10 studs high. Then there is a teenager with the first adjustable legs and an overall height of 11 studs. And the adult comes to a total of 12 studs. That means we have a neat stair of minifigures. But how can I make the next step of LEGO minifigures? Well, we have 2 options. Either we work with the legs or with the second torso. And I'd say we start with that one. But did you know that there exist 2 different sizes of second torsos? Well, neither did I, but unluckily those differ in a height that is not used with any other LEGO pieces. It's the exact height of the top of a brick and therefore not compatible with another brick. But it adds a little bit of extra height, and therefore it's also pretty cool. Luckily, the smaller torso has the equivalent height to an ordinary brick. So if you ever run out of 1x1 bricks, simply take an upper torso and no one will know. Okay, so I'll add the smaller torso to a child, since it's not relevant to create the largest figure possible, but it still adds exactly 1 additional stud of height over the normal minifigure. That means we can easily cover the next 3 steps and are now at a total of 15 studs. But we can go even higher because we haven't even considered the legs yet. And it might surprise you that the snake tails are exactly 1 stud higher than the normal legs. And did you know that ghosts and mermaid legs are exactly 2 studs larger than normal legs? I bet not. But it means that we can kick some of the dumb and complicated double torso minifigures out of our stair and replace them with some easy minifigures. And it also means that we can add 2 more steps, bringing us to a total of almost 18 studs. But there is one piece I am sure of that it slipped your mind. It's a Nexonite leg piece from a Thunder Lightning monster. It's almost exactly twice as high as the normal legs, because those are 5 studs high and the lightning legs 9. So they ultimately raise our max height all the way to 20 studs. But before we continue with any more steps, here's a quick speedrun of a few items that also raise your minifigure height. And the first items are backblings, kamas and clothing. For example, this custom clone trooper has 5 layers of fabric, which is almost the equivalent height to a minifigure with an additional stud. Now, armor and old Star Wars waistcapes are also genius ways to give your minifigures different heights, even though it's only a teeny tiny bit of height. The next step is to change the head, since specified head molds result in specified heights. And here are only a few of the potential minifigures we can also add to our stair. We got Steve, Chewie, a shark from LEGO Atlantis, and many more. But the best thing is Rubeus Hagrid from Harry Potter. He has a single molded torso with a normal head, but has the equivalent height to a minifigure with 2 torsos. But do you know why these techniques are so cool? Because if you combine these minifigures with the rest of the minifigure heights, it makes our stair almost disappear. And believe it or not, but I've already shown you way over 100 minifigures. And the next one I'm about to introduce to you is only 5 studs larger. And that's ridiculous, because it's the big fig from LEGO. Just think that through. Usually, we have to stack 2 entire normal-sized minifigures to get to this size. But we simply managed to get it done with a bit of thinking and combining the right pieces. But there are also bigger ones, like the Cave Troll and the Goblin King. They both are around 30 studs high. No joke, that's almost 3 people stacked on top of each other. But still nothing compared to what I am about to show you now. Okay, so let's check out if the mail arrived. Boys and girls, we got ourselves a package. We got ourselves a minifigure that's more than 7 times the size of a normal minifigure. And it literally blows my mind that my minifigure is 44 times smaller than this beast. But since we already know how a normal minifigure looks like from the outside and the inside, we don't need this thing anymore. I'm more interested in the biggest minifigure you have ever seen. And according to the internet, the tallest minifigure is 150 meters tall and cut out of a mice field. But I want to hit the record for the biggest standing LEGO minifigure that is brick built. And I'll do that by attaching a normal 1x1 stud to a LEGO minifigure. And now I'll repeat that until the minifigure collapses. But like this, the minifig collapses way too strong. So I need a strong base. And I'll take the largest base plate I can find. And now let me get started. 20, 30, 60, 70, 75. And if I let it go, seems like 75 is the max. But I have another idea. I have these pieces that are the equivalent height to 5 normal bricks. That means there are 4 connections less, which can bend. And let's give it another shot. I'll immediately start at 75 studs, because if it fails there, I can forget this idea for good. And just look at how stable this tower still is at 75 bricks. 125. 125.